Minnesota. And off we go. The Wildcats will have the basketball first. There are more prolific scoring offenses under Chris Collins. Martinelli trying to get position, unable to do it. Cherovino to Singleton from three, short. And the rebound controlled by Langston Reynolds. Rebounding going to be a big key in this game, Sean.
Especially for Northwestern. They're toward the bottom of the conference in rebounding margin, and this has been the end of the floor rebounding-wise that has really hurt them. They're last in the Big Ten in defensive rebounding percentage.
Bodies on the ground, a tie-up, and it got to get going. Ozma, a little shake and bake. Ozma had blocked, and it's a shot clock violation.
Nice rotation over because Ozma looked like he was going to have a clean path to the rim. And watch the help by Singleton, showing his athleticism, keeps it in play. Ball does not hit the rim. Shot clock violation. Well done defensively by Northwestern.
Couple of stops by both defenses. First two possessions. Cherovino puts it on the deck and pulls it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Reed with space. Reed too strong. And Reed will get the loose ball. Second opportunity for the Cats. There's a three. Again, too strong.
That has been an area of concern for Northwestern as well. 6 made threes per ball game, last in the Big Ten in that particular area.
Just 32%. If they can get something going from distance, well, it's a totally different team.
One of the really help out a guy like Martinelli, because if you can post him up then with the threat of a kick out, it's going to make him even that much more effective.
Cut inside, Martinelli with the help, and the bucket's good by Crocker Johnson.
And Jeff, if you turn your head up there at the three-point line, it's an automatic backdoor cut. Northwestern fell for the trap, and a dive cut. Crocker Johnson breaks the scoring seal.
Singleton to Clayton. Shot clock winding down. It's at 5. Martinelli for three from the corner, no good. One and done for the Wildcats again.
Doing a nice job of forcing Northwestern to try to shoot over the top. Minnesota kind of undermanned, but they're backing off and taking away driving angles as well as any kind of penetration with an interior feed.
Every shot Northwestern has taken so far has been from distance. Kate Tyson with the basketball for the first time.
That's a walk, man.
Crocker Johnson spinning on Martinelli. Left hand, and he got the roll.
Yeah, Martinelli did a pretty good job, but as a fellow lefty, he needed to understand he's playing a lefty there in Crocker Johnson and jumped that right shoulder and left hand, but he allowed him to come back to it, and that was the result.
And a deep three, that's good. Martinelli gets the Wildcats on the board. Still everything from distance. That's not their game. In the shoot around today, they were working everything in the painted area. I don't think they took 1-3 during shoot around.
And if you are Minnesota, even though Martinelli hits 56% of his offerings from out there, you'd much rather have him there than doing damage down on the block.
Tyson backing down on Singleton. Tyson trying to find space. Now a three ball. Durkin too strong, and Martinelli pulls down the board.
Good job of walling up on Tyson, forcing the kick out to Durkin.
Wide open three for Reed. That's good.
And because of his ability to score off the dribble, that little jab step got the backpedaling defender, giving him just enough space. He's kind of undersized, but that created enough space for him to get that three. Clean look.
Crocker Johnson with that strong left hand.
The most on the defensive end.
Come away with a turnover. Good knock away from the paint touch. Also on the floor for Northwestern, Justin Mullins checking in.
Mullins knocked down 4 triples last time out for Northwestern.
Martinelli, open three. Not that time. Still nothing from inside the three-point line today for the Wildcats. Minnesota using just a 7-man rotation. Season-ending injuries to Chauncey Willis, Robert Bihola, Viola had surgery yesterday. Tyson pulls up. His jumper's good. His first points of the
of pulling up and not taking that extra dribble. Reed was rotating over, trying to set up for a charge. Tyson saw him and stopped.
Page isolated. Page. A blocking foul. Officials looking at each other, confirming. Go back to Cade Tyson getting in the score column.
He's the second leading scorer in the conference. And you see the rotation over by Reed. If he takes one more dribble, it's going to be in trouble with summoning his inner Frank Costanza. He stopped short.
That's his move.
Yes.
At 12, his last time out. Granted some foul trouble, and that's something that Minnesota cannot afford to have happen. Get players into foul trouble. They just don't have the depth. Page in the corner. Page gets it out to Reed. Whip it around. Green passes up that three. Takes this one and knocks it through.
And that's what he's in there for. A prolific scorer at the high school level. And the Rookie of the Year a season ago in the Patriot League at Holy Cross. And he can get it going. 36% from deep so far.
He was 0 for 5 from deep his last time out. Grayson Grove checking in for Minnesota. Tyson isolated with Mullins. Grove, the cutter. Grove is good.
And that's what happened again. The defender got caught watching the ball. Grove saw it. The double team goes to Tyson. The unselfishness. This is why they assist on 75% of their made field goals.
That's number 1 in the country. Paint touch from Martinelli. 2-point field goal, first one of the day, and it goes for Martinelli.
And a really nice job by Martinelli. The defender fell down, and rather than just turn blindly and go to the rim, he turned with that little inside pivot, located it, and rather than putting down an unnecessary dribble, just knocked it down.
So good in the mid-range game. Tyson on the other end for 3, to Strong Green with the board. 3-point lead for Northwestern. Nice drive by Reed.
And a good job by Reed of understanding that he had Martinelli on this far block. And he was isolated so much that Tyson couldn't come over and help. And nice ball movement the last time down. Good shot fake here by Green to create enough space. Tyson was playing for the rise and fire. Green recognized that. Nice counter with the fan dribble.
Both Green and Clayton were out about 2 hours ahead of shoot-around today, just knocking down threes with Bryant McIntosh, assistant coach for Northwestern. Cross-court pass to Azuma for 3, and he buries it.
Nice look cross-court, and again, if you turn and watch the basketball against Minnesota, they are going to make you pay, whether it's with a backdoor cut or if you go over and you lose sight of your primary defender, they're going to move to an open spot, and that was a good example.
Nice screen by Page down low. Martinelli's floater, no. Durkin battling. Martinelli knocked it off of a Minnesota Golden Gopher, but it will be Minnesota basketball. Go back to the 3 here, and the ball movement from Minnesota.
You see, you said 2 on the ball, and then Martinelli got caught too deep watching the basketball. Asama then was on the baseline, Jeff, and came up into the line of vision of the passer, which made himself available. Nice job by Asama, especially considering the last time out, he struggled from behind the arc, 1 of 10.
A tough day for him, but it was a win against FDU. Gave up just 43 points. Fewest amount of points they've given up in a decade. Asama off his foot. Possession stayed alive. 6 to shoot.
But Bowen's doing a really good job on Cade Tyson.
Tyson misses the shot. Another rebound for Green.
He put his chest right into Tyson, and rather than allowing him to get his shoulders by him, he fanned him out toward that far sideline.
Mullins passes up the 3. Nearly turned it over. Back into the hands of Page. Now running the offense, Jake West. Tough pass, and then out of the hands of Singleton. Page, look at the English off the glass.
The Northwestern was very fortunate because that pass had to go through a lot of hands to find its way to Page there, and risky pass, but the reward was worth it. Ohio State.
Tyson, good ball fake. Get it down low to Reynolds for 2.
Boy, really well done of sharing the basketball. Tyson, because he can knock it down 41% of the time, they have to close out. They don't do it under control. Uses that rhythm dribble to get a little different look. And now Minnesota giving a little bit of a different look defensively, showing zone here against Northwestern.
Get it inside to Singleton. Now Page. Page, a little jumper. Not a lot of second opportunities for Northwestern so far. Tyson in transition. Signs a reset.
Well, this is going to be a tough cover for Singleton, the freshman in the far corner on Tyson.
Nice cut again underneath. Reynolds for 2 more.
And Jeff, that was an area of concern for Northwestern in the shoot-around we were at. They were talking about it constantly, that they have to whip through that high ball screen and not allow too much space. And if you get caught watching the basketball, the Golden Gophers will carve you up.
West on the drive, lost it on the way up. And it'll be Minnesota basketball. First turnover for Northwestern. Here's that last sequence for Minnesota.
If Reynolds just gets enough of a rub up top, just keeps moving without the basketball, and you have to help here. They were talking about that. Ciravino got caught. The help was a little tardy, and Minnesota, again, showing you why they lead the nation in assist rate.
All but one of their buckets have an assist attached. Crocker Johnson for 3. In and out, Ciravino with a board.
This zone, 2 possessions, it has stymied Northwestern offensively. Nice job by Martinelli of getting inside.
And Page couldn't finish it, but a foul. Page will go to the line.
Textbook by Martinelli, because they'd allowed the zone to dictate in the 2 previous possessions. Here, Martinelli understands that you want to get in the gut. He gets in that high post there, and then you have so many more options. What? Make yourself available. You force the defense to collapse. They come up. Breakdown in communication allows Page to sneak behind.
Durkin picked up the foul, first free throw attempt of the game. And Page knocks it through. 68% from the free throw line this year for Arrington Page. Transfer from Cincinnati, spent his first year at USC.
Also has shown himself to be a very capable passer. Well north of a 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio for the big guy.
One of those things Northwestern continues to do exceptionally well in the last decade with Chris Collins. And the drive and an offensive foul, bad screen.
It was exactly the way that Minnesota designed it. But if Crocker Johnson stopped, he's got the defender on his hip. But he kept moving and trying to ride him up. Coming to your screen right here, if he stops, that's a basket. But look, he continues to ride him up. If he stops and maintains position, that's a layup, because there's no way Page is going to be able to get over the top. But you can't dislodge the defender.
Back into that zone for Minnesota. Ciravino driving, left hand is good.
Nicely done by Ciravino, getting in there and showing you why it's important to be able to finish with either hand. And the last couple of times, Northwestern has not allowed the zone to dictate what they wanted to do offensively. They attacked first with the high post, there with the dribble drive.
4-point lead for Northwestern. Largest lead of the game was just 5. Another backdoor cut. Sealed off nicely by Martinelli. And it's going to Northwestern basketball, looks like. Go back to Ciravino on the drive.
Just a good, quick rip. Understanding that the defense wasn't set. Well done by Ciravino getting to the rim and using the offhand. And a good job by Northwestern there of forcing Reynolds to try to score with his offhand.
Asama knocks it down. Good out-of-bounds play. Another thing Northwestern worked on tirelessly during shoot-around, those out-of-bounds plays.
They were really worried about those out-of-bounds inline plays where the trigger man steps in and does that little duck in, and that's a big reason why.
Open look, Ciravino. Martinelli trying to keep it alive and does. Got it ripped away, but Northwestern's got it. Foul. Tuesday Gophers back. Grove on Page. Page with the right hand. Tyson with the rebound. Minnesota on the move. Reynolds all the way to the rack. They're going to count it. It's a goaltend on Page.
Well, that was a strong take. Strong take off the transition. Change of pace. You get Clayton going one way. They like their hockey. He's on skates. Bucket for Gophers.
Old Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency.
It's a small sample size, but he's on 56% on the year. But if you're Minnesota, you'd much rather force Martinelli out there than showing his craftiness around the rim.
Just 2 points for Tyson, 5 for Martinelli. Surprised that Northwestern has already taken 9 threes in this game. They've knocked down 3 of them. Most of their good stuff comes down to the painted area. They're starting to get back to that since Page came on the floor. Martinelli's floater, no good.
But that was a nice set, though, by Northwestern. They screened that back line of the zone defense of Minnesota, allowing Martinelli to come off shoulder to shoulder.
Now, that's his shot.
It is. They'll go back to that if that zone defense continues to be employed.
Inside, wide open, Shinholster for 2. Those backdoor cuts have been open all day for Minnesota. 6-0 run right now for the Golden Gophers. Zone really disrupting the offensive flow for Northwestern. Reed, 5 on the shot clock. Reed kept his foot on the ground and knocks down the jumper.
Well, if you're Minnesota, that's a backbreaker because that possession was going nowhere. The ball was stuck in Reed's hand, and you don't maintain defensive discipline all the way down. Reed maintained contact with that pivot foot and hits the leaner. Boy, they missed. They had Grove, then Grove, nice job of sealing.
Martinelli able to catch up to Reynolds. Time winding down. There's a 3, short. Open look instead of drive. Now the kick. Sheravino open. That's good. Been struggling from 3 all year long. Just his 3rd make of the season.
And a good job by Jordan Clayton of understanding that the ball didn't need to stick. He got it on that far side. You attack that zone defense, you force him to collapse, and then you see Ciravino in the far corner spotting up. Well done with Jordan Clayton.
He's 2 out of 15 to start the season. Big 3 there, saw a smile on his face. Almost a sigh of relief. Tyson down low, fouled. Backdoor cuts. It's a big deal here for Minnesota.
And not only is the back door open, there's no sighting. Everything's gone. That's an easy conversion by Minnesota. Then Reed bails out Northwestern. Excellent footwork. A lot of people might have thought he traveled. No, as long as the toe maintains contact with the floor, then Clayton does a really good job of attacking, forcing Minnesota to rotate over, which allowed Ciravino to step in and knock down the 3.
Tyson misses his first. 81% free throw shooter on the season for Cade Tyson. One out of 2 in that trip. Second leading scorer in the conference. 2-point game, just under 6 minutes to play in this first half.
And Minnesota now, after the last execution, kind of forced to get out of that.
Nice move by Green on the baseline.
Zone defense and Green, because he knocked down that first 3, they have to honor it. The freshman recognizes that, attacks the closeout on that inside foot.
Got a hand on that pass. Gophers running into each other in this possession. The shot clock and a foul. Singleton bailed out Minnesota.
And that's just a freshman mistake by Singleton in this regard, okay? You have to know who you're guarding. You have to jump that left hand. You pushed him out. You've done your job, but then rather than squaring up maybe toward that left hand, he squared up toward the right, and that allowed the more experienced player to rip through and get to the rim.
Just picked up his 2nd foul. He's played just 7 minutes in this first half.
He's going to be really good, though, Jeff. I think that future for that young man is exceedingly bright.
Again, had a great game last time out against Howard. Getting his first taste as they go down to Tyson. Kick it back out. Good ball movement by Minnesota. Whew. Whip it back out. Durkin for three. No good. Second opportunity. That ball just does not stick in any hands for Minnesota. Down low, another backdoor cut and a block. Page altered it but called for a foul. Great defense that time. Jake West in for the block initially.
And Jake West coming off a solid game in his own right. Last time out against Howard, 6 points, 4 assists, and a couple of steals, and here he does not give up on the play. Tyson doesn't go up strong, and West makes him pay, but Tyson sticks with it and will shoot a couple on the foul from Page.
Tyson knocks the first one through for Page. Picks up just his first foul. Couple of free throws for Tyson. Back to a 2-point game. It's about the score we thought it was going to be around this time. Despite Northwestern having a prolific scoring start to the season. Martinelli just inside the three-point line, knocks down the jumper.
And Reynolds didn't know what to do because Martinelli took his time, faced him, that little jab step, and rather than taking an unnecessary dribble, Martinelli just said, I'll just let this thing fly.
Nobody takes that shot anymore. Analytics hates that shot. Osama for three, buries it. That long two-point shot just is almost out of college basketball these days. West over to Clayton. Now Martinelli passes up the three. Down to Page. In and out of his hands and a turnover. Second turnover for Northwestern takes us to a timeout in Evanston. 1-point lead for the Wildcats.
He just hasn't been healthy the last couple of years.
Forced error there by Reynolds, who's had it come off his fingertips. Turnover for Minnesota, just their fourth. Been a relatively clean game in terms of turnovers. Green, a deep three. Page with an offensive rebound.
Really well done by Page of putting Grove underneath the basket.
Reed hits a tough jumper.
And because Page did his job, that is the result. He got his hip into Grove. He didn't displace him, but when that carom came, as it does about 80% of the time from one side of the rim to the other, Page understood that.
Reynolds looking for space, finds Durkin. Kicking around to Tyson. Reynolds has it again. Azama for three. That's good. That ball, just as it always does for Minnesota, whipping.
And how about Osama after 1 of 10 last time out? Is that his third triple?
Gotta have a short memory in this game. You're right, Sean. A game high 11 for Azama. 3 threes. Down low, Martinelli had it knocked away.
That's just a bad pass.
Tyson fouled by Reed. Tyson will go to the line. This ball, all it does, there's no catch. It just switches direction.
And what you can see then is the white jerseys. I don't care how well you're talking. If you don't have a chance to get out there on the close and the ball doesn't stick, and if you get somebody going like Osama has, man, that's going to be a tough guard. I don't care if you're only playing with 7 guys.
Osama on the season shooting just 30% from 3. You see the average just a tick under 10 points a game already with 11. 2:09 to go in this first half. Back and forth we go. Minnesota's got a 2-point lead. The largest lead of this game was 5 by Northwestern. Expected to stay this way as Reed. No good. One rebound for Minnesota.
That's a bad shot. I mean, that effectively serves as an outlet pass for Minnesota. And, Reed is under 30% on the year from deep. That was awful quick.
Martinelli on Osama now. corner. Reynolds draws a crowd.
Good help by Green.
Durkin had it altered, and ultimately Green comes away with it.
Well, that was a nice defensive rotation by the freshman Green.
Martinelli looks to Page in the alley-oop.
How about these two guys learning from one another? Remember a few possessions ago, Martinelli tried to throw the bounce pass? I think Page said, you know what, big guy? Throw it up toward the rim. Let me go get it there.
Second time Martinelli has found Page on a very similar type of play. Under a minute to go. Osima. Down low, Grove, and they'll count it again. The goaltend by Page, his second of the afternoon. But on the other end, it was Martinelli finding Page.
Look at Martinelli turn, and again, face the defense, put it up there toward the rim, where Page knows what to do with it, and then Minnesota, again, their movement without the basketball.
Half with 7 points, and the majority of that damage has been done at the free throw line. Team leader in points is Reed with 9 for Northwestern. Page, one-on-one with Grove, got by him, and goes up and under for 2 more.
I tell you what, that was a good move by Page. I think he was lucky he didn't get called for the offensive foul. He kind of chicken-winged him down there as he made his move to the other side of the rim.
Tie game, shot clock is off. Minnesota will play for the final shot.
This is where, if you're Northwestern, look, nobody's in the stands. And this is when some guys can get lulled into, just a sense of false security. You're not in the stands.
Tyson for 3. In and out. Martinelli with the rebound. Shot will not count regardless, and we are tied going into the locker rooms at halftime in Evanston.
Entertaining.
Starts the second half on the floor. Martinelli for 3. Off the mark to start the second half for Northwestern. Sean Morris, Jeff Lettering with you. Thanks for being with us. Happy New Year. Big Ten Conference action geared back up. It was a busy Friday night in the league. Game 1 of our doubleheader on the Big Ten Network tonight. Illinois, Penn State from the Palestra next. Osima cold to start this one. First shot of the second half, not to be. Reed had 9 in the first half for Northwestern. His 3 ball is good.
That's the second time that Reed, because of his ability to turn the corner, Minnesota gives him a wide berth. They back up, and then Reed is able to just step back and take his time behind the arc.
2 for 4 for distance from Reed. Came in shooting 27% of the season. Rocker Johnson quiet in the first half. His left-hand jumper is good.
Yeah, and that's one, again, where Page just has to understand who he's guarding. Crocker Johnson, along with Reynolds, want to get to that right shoulder and left hand, and you have to jump it and make them beat you with their weak hand.
And a foul. Didn't have a lot of fouls in that first half. Just 4 team fouls for Minnesota, 5 for Northwestern. Reynolds picks up the personal. Reed trying to find some space. Sheravino passes up the 3, back to Reed. 8 to shoot. Martinelli's got it on the baseline. Martinelli spinning in the paint. Right hand, that's good.
And that double team was just about a half a count late. They forced Martinelli to go to the right hand, which is what you want to do, but the help was just half a tick behind, and Martinelli so crafty around the rim.
Reynolds finishes. It's on open lane, and he took it.
And a good job by Reynolds, kind of to the point earlier. They jumped the left hand, and he went right.
8.6 assists for Langston Reynolds. Sheravino had an open look there for a moment, couldn't pull the trigger. Martinelli.
There's that double team that was tardy last time. Well done by Durkin.
Page with 4 to shoot. Fall away jumper, he's fouled. Got bailed out on that possession. Fast break points in this game. Not a lot for either squad, but a goose egg in terms of what Northwestern has done today. 0 fast break points. Minnesota true to their defensive efforts.
Boy, and you hit it right on the head. in that last possession, Minnesota bailed out Page. I mean, he's shooting a fadeaway jump shot. If he hits that, if you're Minnesota, you can live with that.
Missed the first, and he missed them both. So the foul did not come back to hurt Minnesota.
And I may want to get the ball to Crocker Johnson because I'm not sure where Page's head is right now. He was shaking his head coming down the floor. Maybe try to get after him here a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, foul on Page. You could see that coming from a mile away, Sean.
It's a simple game, Jeff, or they wouldn't let me near it. You could kind of see after he missed that second free throw, he hung his head, and you knew that Crocker Johnson was going to get the ball, and Page just kind of bailed him out. There's no need to foul him. He's going away from the rim.
Reynolds again on the drive with the left hand, foul by Martinelli.
Boy, Minnesota just spreads the floor so well. They rarely, if ever, post anyone up. That's their bread and butter. But because they knock down some threes early, look at the space. And because they space things out, there's no one there to come over effectively. Martinelli just about a half a step late.
Officials gave that foul to Clayton as opposed to Martinelli. It looked like all the contact was from Martinelli. That's a break big time for Northwestern. Minnesota jumps back out in front by 1.
Boy, that's a good sign. Langston Reynolds, 46% from the line on the year.
Mullins on the floor for Northwestern. Reed going through that Gopher defense.
Good communication defensively by Minnesota.
Page for 3, knocks it through. Page was 6 for 23 on the season.
Get his leg back underneath him.
We'll see how Trey Singleton plays. He's essentially playing a 5 right now with 2 fouls. Clayton for Reed. Reed left alone for 3. He's fouled and will go to the line and shoot 3. Durkin got him. And Reed has taken advantage of every sliver of space he's received.
And a smart play by Reed in this regard. He wanted Durkin to have to make that decision, and you got to let the guy land. If you're Durkin, you just kind of want to run by him and force him to shoot over the top, but crafty play by Reed.
Durkin with no points. He has committed 2 fouls. He's the only Gopher that has not scored in this game. 2 for 2 so far for Reed. Coming up, Hoops doubleheader continues. Illinois squares off against Penn State at the historic Palestra in Philly. Coming up next, Big Ten Network, Fox Sports app. Corey Provis, LaFonso Ellis on the call from Philly. 3 for Reed at the free throw line.
Minnesota, we talked about it.
4-point lead for Northwestern. Again, neither team is led by more than 5 in this game.
Jeff, you mentioned Durkin's been scoreless. He's got Singleton, the freshman, with 2 fouls on him. Let's see if they maybe try to find that matchup.
Tyson goes right at Singleton and draws a foul. That's number 3.
They're going to try to determine if this is
continuation. I believe they're going to count it. Whew. So Singleton gets the foul, and they will count the bucket. So a 3-point opportunity for Tyson.
Now, if you're in your shooting motion, man, they
extra step there. The officials got together.
That was an awkward-looking play all the way around.
Singleton will check out after they counted the bucket. Sheravino checks in. Singleton to the bench for his 3rd foul. It's on the floor for 7 minutes in the first half and about 40 seconds here in the second half. Welcome back to the Big Ten Conference for that freshman. No more breaks, no more non-conference. All Big Ten from here on out. 3-point play by Cade Tyson. He's in double figures with 10, and most of that coming from the free throw line. Martinelli from the free throw line hits the jumper.
And a really good job by Martinelli. You kind of saw him without completely discarding the defender, got that shoulder in there right in the chest, which allowed him enough space to get that little half hook off.
Such a savvy shot as Durkin dials up a three, no good. Bodies on the floor. It's a 4-on-4 game. Reed sets up the alley-oop, and it's good to Sheravino. They call him Jello in the locker room. He was jiggling on that dunk.
And the rim is as well. Now for Northwestern, don't get carried away. Maintain defensive discipline because Minnesota is going to try to get something going toward the basket. So far, good job by Northwestern defense.
Sheravino creates a turnover. Dishes it off. Clayton, no good. Martinelli is there for the follow. Timeout, Minnesota. Martinelli and the Wildcats are fired up. Such great vision from the Wildcats here to Sheravino.
And you mentioned that fast break points hit.
Largest lead of the game for Northwestern. 53-46, 14 minutes to go in the contest. And for Martinelli and Kate Tyson on the other side, our auto owners, game leaders, what they average on the season, what they're doing so far today. A little under their averages, Sean, but both putting their stamps on this game.
And Tyson has done his damage from the foul line, 6 of 7 from the stripe. And Martinelli just so crafty around the basket. Has kind of struggled from behind the arc, 1 of 4, but overall 6 of 12 from the floor for the conference's leading scorer.
So Crocker Johnson and Martinelli having a conversation. They're diplomatic for the time being. Martinelli was fired up after that alley-oop to Sheravino that forced the timeout.
Remember, in the first half, Minnesota scored on this play. So if you're Reed, you have to understand that Osama right now is maybe going to try to come in from the duck end. Good job by Northwestern of recognizing that.
We're talking about the footwork. Watch where they are standing on the baseline. Crocker Johnson with the left hand, no good. Martinelli secures the rebound. Almost where they're positioning with their footwork will tell you where they're going with the basketball. Martinelli out to Sheravino for 3. That's the look you want if you're Northwestern.
But a good job again by Martinelli coming to that high post in the gut of the defense and then looking weak side.
And we're getting a foul away from the basketball. They'll pick up Jordan Clayton. Should be his 3rd. 4th team foul for Northwestern. Max Green will check in the Wildcats for Clayton.
A nice little curl cut. Good job by Mullins of forcing Tyson out.
Tyson makes the jumper, but a good job by Mullins on the front end.
Yeah, it really was because they wanted to get him the ball right at the restricted area. He forced him out, but Tyson just able to take a little bit of advantage with his size there, but still a pretty good defensive effort by Mullins.
Martinelli and Crocker Johnson going at it in the paint. Backdoor pass, and it was too early. Reynolds intercepted it. It's a foul on Sheravino.
And I'm not sure where Reed was throwing that.
Here's that last play. See the job by Mullins, but Tyson just using his size.
Yeah, because they wanted to get him the ball, meaning Tyson, at the restricted area. Mullins did a good job of forcing him out between the restricted area and the foul line, but pretty good conversion there by the conference's 2nd leading scorer in Tyson.
Just the 3rd Northwestern turnover in the game, first of the 2nd half. Crocker Johnson met at the point of attack.
Good rotation there by Green.
3 by Tyson. And no good. That's out of bounds off of Reed's leg. It'll stay with Minnesota.
Boy, Northwestern dodged one there because on that skip pass, it hit Tyson where he was wide open, and he maxed that down about 41% of the time for the Gophers. Doing a really good job, Jeff, of understanding the scouting report. There they wanted to duck in Reynolds, and Mullins, rather than cede that space, took that extra step and deflected it with the inside hand.
8 minutes gone by in the second half. Tyson on the drive. Tyson threw it away to West.
And it was because Page rotated over. He was worried about the shot block. Good job by Page of moving his feet.
Limited minutes for West. Martinelli down low for 2 more.
And how about the job by the freshman West of taking that extra dribble, which provided the proper passing angle inside to Martinelli.
Minnesota trying to answer, get it down low. Asama with the layup. New season high for Asama with 16. Green looking for space, gives it up to Page. Now down low, Martinelli again with a little floater.
But he just does so much of his work before the ball even begins to arrive. He's thinking a pass ahead. He got the defender on his hip and played from the waist down, which allowed him to get the proper post position.
17 from Martinelli. Durkin's jumper, and he got the roll. He's in the score column. Durkin, who averages just over 8 a game.
At 19 last time out for the Golden Gophers against Fairleigh Dickinson.
Down low, Martinelli, and 1. Nick Martinelli coming alive here in the second half, Sean.
Well, he flashes with a purpose, takes the contact, good delivery from Page. The 2 bigs paying off big.
19 points, 5 rebounds, very rarely heads to the bench. Martinelli trying to cash in on the 3-point play, 6 of 7 here in this second half, but he misses the free throw.
And Northwestern's been phenomenal, as we talked about in the first half, in terms of taking care of the basketball. 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio. How about tonight as a team, 5-to-1?
What a block by Page. It's his second of the ball game. He's altered a couple of more. Green for 3, no good. Page tried to keep it alive, couldn't. Up ahead, Page with a steal.
A better pass, and that's a layup for Johnson. Because Page was beat, but nice recovery because the pass was a little short.
Martinelli isolated with Tyson. And it's an offensive foul. Chris Collins being told.
Yeah, I think that's... Guy behind me doesn't like it, but I can see why the official made it.
Guy behind us doesn't have a whistle. His opinion matters not.
He's got a beverage, though. It's maybe better than a whistle.
It feels cold. Reynolds finds Tyson. Tyson underneath. That's 9 assists now for Reynolds.
Man, and if you turn your head just for a minute, Jeff, Minnesota senses that. And the freshman West, who's been pretty solid in his minutes today, just got caught watching the basketball, turned his head, and Minnesota took advantage.
A 5-point deficit facing Minnesota. Trying to come up with a stop defensively, and Tyson hooking Page down low.
And that's just not a smart play by Tyson. Okay, you've done your job, Jeff. You pushed Arrington Page into the short corner. So just, if he catches it out there, seat it back up and utilize good defensive position. It's not a good foul. It's really not a good foul when you're already undermanned.
Second foul on Tyson. Page going right back at him with the left hand. No good. And Tyson doing his job that time. 3-on-3 game here. Durkin going against West, and West commits the foul.
When Minnesota was fortunate there because he was going to fall to the ground. Let's see if Durkin hooks. Yeah, that's a tough one to have go against you. Now, you know, West was moving. He's in the restricted area. But you don't have to be set if you're the primary defender.
Legs just
legs got down. Yep.
Durkin misses the free throw. Durkin, 86% from the free throw line this year, but he's just having a tough night all around. Martinelli's going to head to the bench for a quick rest. Immediate timeout coming up. See the numbers there for Durkin, what he put together. Martinelli, a little break. Keep him fresh for the stretch. Trey Singleton back on the floor with those 3 fouls. He's barely played in this game. Just 8 minutes for Singleton.
And if Minnesota is able to clean up a defensive sequence here, let's see if they understand Singleton's on the floor and maybe try to exploit that matchup.
Singleton has Tyson on him. Reed now with it. Reed passed up the 3, puts it on the deck. Right hand, no good. Osmo with the rebound. There's still give there. Crocker Johnson went right up against Page, but a foul. Who are they going to give it to? It'll go against Singleton. That's his 4th. So much for that break for Martinelli. He's checking back in. Here's the foul.
And Singleton, a little late coming over. That's a foul. But Singleton was a little late because what you couldn't see at the bottom of your screen, he was the primary defender on Tyson, who had fanned out to the corner, and Singleton didn't want to leave him.
Crocker Johnson knocks the first one down. Singleton back to the bench. 10 out of 12 from the free throw line for Minnesota. They were just 6 out of 12 against Fairleigh Dickinson on Monday.
And they've been woeful from the line all year. The Gophers 68% as a team, last in the Big Ten Conference in that area.
77% from Crocker Johnson, 1 out of 2 on that trip to the line, a 3-point game. Page out of the perimeter and a foul down low. Crocker Johnson and Martinelli. Talked about that matchup in this second half. Crocker Johnson picks up the foul. That's his 3rd.
I think Crocker Johnson got his money's worth on that one.
Yes, he did. Reed trying to get space around Tyson into the corner. 5 to shoot. Mullins has it. To Page. Gotta go. Page for 3. Osmo's had the hot hand for Minnesota all night.
With Grove out there, Page can kind of play center field and maybe be a rim protector here. There's no need to guard Grove aggressively on the perimeter.
Tyson goes to the rim, had it blocked. And it's a shot clock violation. Page again coming in with a block. Takes us to a timeout in Evanston. 3-point lead for Northwestern at home.
The holidays are all about giving, but at the Ram Wrap Up the Year sales event, it's all
Basketball on the Big Ten Network brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. Cade Tyson, Nick Martinelli, 2 to go and a 3-point lead for the Wildcats.
And both teams have valued the basketball, to say the least. You take a look at first for Minnesota, 18 assists on 21 made field goals. They lead the conference and the nation in assist rate, and only 9 turnovers, 2 to 1. That pales in comparison to what Northwestern has done. 15 assists, only 4 turnovers for the Wildcats.
And Martinelli has scored the last 8 for Northwestern. Page fouled. Grove was there to try and meet him. Picks up the foul. It's his 2nd. They gave it to Osima, excuse me. It looked like Grove was the guy that was right there. Instead, Osima picks up the foul. It's his 1st, so Page at the line. And it rolls in for a Monday Catch a Women's Hoops doubleheader. First, Gophers challenge 6th ranked Strike. Baker's dozen for Page.
Again, Page, with Grove being his primary defensive responsibility, can kind of play center field there because Grove is not a threat to score out here on the perimeter.
Azuma lost it. It's on the ground. Page comes away with it. So lost possession there for Minnesota. Reed into the teeth of defense. Clayton for three. And Reynolds pulls down the rebound. He is quietly getting close to a triple-double. 10 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds for Reynolds.
Nice pass.
Pass to Grove, and he finishes with the dunk.
Boy, that was really well done. That pocket pass, exquisite there from Minnesota. And Grove rolled with a purpose, and I still think Reed was a little bit more aggressive than he needed to be. He could kind of been a half step off. That might have taken away the dive from Grove.
The double-double for Reynolds, points and assists, and a foul on Grove. Worked on Page, and here's that pass and dunk for Minnesota.
A little bit of a rub, nice job, and Page just kind of lost sight of where Grove was, and rather than stay out on the perimeter, Grove understands if I'm going to score, this is where it's going to be, and finishes very, very strongly here.
Page back to the line. And it's the first, earns the second. 5 out of 7 so far from the free throw line for Arrington Page. He's right on his average for points. Average is 14.5. He's got 15 off the bench. There was Singleton not playing very much today. Just 8 minutes for Singleton with 4 fouls. It's been all Page.
Second time.
Grove again through the slip.
Yep. I mean, and really well done by Minnesota. How many times, Jeff, I don't care what the sport, football running play works, they don't run it again. Hey, run it until the opposition stops it. So Northwestern, especially with Page guarding Grove, they're going to have to make an adjustment there.
Martinelli has it. Going underneath. Martinelli off the window. Chris Collins working the official. Thought it should have been an and one. Another 20-point game for Martinelli. Whip it around. Tyson. Nice close by Sheravino.
Really well done by Sheravino.
Parker Johnson dials up a 3. Page with position and a foul. It'll go against Grove. That's his third. Martinelli down low. Look at the touch off the window.
Just turn, rip, get in there. Things have kind of gotten stagnant offensively for Northwestern, and Martinelli ends that, and that's the second time that Grove has been able to be the recipient of a roll to the rim. And Jeff, you mentioned it earlier, Langston Reynolds, the Northern Colorado transfer, put on a nice performance here for the Golden Gophers.
Career high in assists, flirting with a triple-double with those 6 rebounds. Page, it's the first. As a team, Northwestern has 13 free throw attempts. Page has 9 of them. Now he's 8 out of 10 from the free throw line.
Northwestern's had a couple of 7-point leads here, but haven't been able to extend it.
Back to the slip again. Tyson lost it, gets it to Grove for another dunk. It's too easy for Minnesota.
And they just don't stop moving. And the moment you quit communicating, or more decisively, you don't locate the ball in the man, the Gophers will almost assuredly make you pay.
High percentage shots from Grove. Martinelli leans in. Asima pulls down the rebound for Asima. That's his 8th rebound. Running the floor, Kate Tyson. And 1. Here come the Gophers.
That was pretty basketball. You get the rebound. Asima looks to the strong side here, and then Tyson just sprints it. This is why you don't jog. This is why you sprint. Because of that.